highlight the main idea as we read, okay? The questioners, put up your hand if you've got a questioning card. You guys are going to come up with some questions. So as we read, you might have a bit of a question that you want to find out. And I want you to write it down here. So you have here on your cards, you might see it says, I wonder. So I wonder what? It could be I wonder who, I wonder when, I wonder where. I want you to, with the question cards, to have a question after we've read these. So you might have a question while you're reading, and I want you to use that sticky note while we're reading. And the last people are the clarifiers. Put up your card if you've got a clarifier card.
And Kaylin.
All right, well done. So you guys are going to clarify. So after we've read a paragraph, you are going to actually look up those words on our online dictionary. So I'm going to get you to, once we've read the paragraph, to return to your tables with your computer to look up some words for us. Do you think you can do that? And Miss Elise is going to be there to help you as well. Are we all ready? We've all got our jobs. And predictors, I've got another prediction for you coming up very soon. So I want you to be listening very carefully. All right, so I'm going to read in my book because it is a little bit blurry up here. So let's have a look here. All Frank wanted to be when he grew up was a singer. As a teenager, he would mow people's lawns, wash their cars, and walk their dogs to raise money so that he could get into a studio and record his songs. He lived in New Orleans, Louisiana. What's the main idea summarizes of this? What is the main idea? Would you like to come up to Leon? What's our main idea? Yeah. Well done. So the main idea of this paragraph, and because it's our introduction paragraph, is the main idea for the story or the text that we're reading. All Frank wanted to be when he grew up was a singer. All right, let's have a look at were there any words in here that people didn't understand? Or was everyone quite happy with that?
We're happy.
Quite happy? We'll go to the next one. All right, let's have a look at this next paragraph. So one day, a huge hurricane tore through the city. Thousands of people lost their lives, their homes, and everything they had. The studio that Frank had recorded in were gone too. All right, what's the main idea of this paragraph, Rex? Yeah? Oh. Do you want to rub out a little bit? Oh. To the end of the sentence. Beautiful, that's better. All right, so the main idea of this paragraph was one day a huge hurricane tore through the city. Were there any words in here that anyone wasn't sure about? Yep. Tore, yeah. Do you want to highlight
I
that
know
one?
what tall means.
That's right, and you can help
Not
me.
everybody does.
All right, were there any other words in there?
No.
I wasn't sure about the studios that Frank had recorded in were gone too. I wasn't sure what the word studios meant. So I might put a little mark there. Did anyone else have trouble with that word as well, studios? Now, Dakota, you told me that you knew what tore meant. Do you think, could you put another word in there, a synonym for me? One day a huge hurricane ripped through the city. Beautiful, I love it. Does that make it clearer now? Awesome. Just a sec. Well done. So remember, we need to be listening to other people, and when we're listening to other people, our body needs to be facing them. Jacob.
I don't know what studio means.
Yep. Do you want to help us with that?
It's mean a music
Could you put another word in there for us? A synonym? There's something that Frank had recorded in were gone too. What could it be? What was it? Stage. Let's have a look. We might check that because there's still a bit of confusion. So can I get Riley and James to go with Miss Elise? Can you grab your computers and look up that one? We'll leave that while we go on to the next one. So I'm going to put a little line under that one. Let's have a look at our next paragraph. So he moved to Los Angeles to keep making music. He worked non-stop to support himself. He got jobs making sandwiches and typing boring lists of numbers into computers. Finally, he got a songwriting contract. Every day, he went to the studio, wrote hip-hop, rap, and pop songs for other people who needed songs written for them. What was the main idea for this one, do you think? So we moved to Los Angeles to keep making music. Were there any words in here that anyone had trouble with? So let's have a look. So he moved to Los Angeles to keep making music. He worked non-stop, and to support himself, he got jobs making sandwiches and typing boring lists of numbers into computers. Finally, he got a songwriting contract. Every day, he went to the studio and wrote hip-hop, rap, and pop songs for other people who needed songs written for them. Were there any other words, Miss?
I'm not sure, maybe, but these guys might be able to tell us what a contract
Yeah,
is.
I was thinking that. I was a bit confused with the word contract. Talia, what does contract mean?
It means that it's a script thing.
A script?
A
Oh,
music note.
ooh, yep. What do you think?
You got something you can do now or something.
Okay. We might even get you guys down there. Can you have a look up contract as well?
So you type
So
in
do you want-
contractor. James has got studio up.
All right. Do you want to tell us what studio means? So let's have a look. The studio that Frank had recorded in We're Gone too. So what does studio mean?
It says it's a workroom. Can you say that?
What does studio mean?
Well, for start, it's a noun.
Yep. So it's a name of something.
Yes, so it's a workroom
Oh, beautiful. That would be
where
perfect.
an artist
Yep.
would work.
Okay, so we could put the rooms that Frank had recorded in were gone too. So that would be a good synonym. Did we have contract up there, Riley? What does contract mean?
An agreement between two or more parties that they're doing or not doing or something.
So a songwriting contract is an agreement, a legal agreement between two or more parties. So he had a legal agreement with a company to write songs for other people. So he might have written songs for some famous people, Rex, that you already know. So let's come down. Now I want the predicting people to get their sheets. I want you to make a bit of a prediction, and I want everyone to be thinking about this too. What do you think's going to happen with Frank Ocean? So he really loves music, we can tell that. He moved to LA so that he could keep making music. He's been making music for lots of other artists. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen in the rest of the text? Can you guys make a prediction for me? So have a little chat together. So everyone else, Rex, it's all right. Come up. What do you think? I want everyone to be thinking about the prediction as well. So he's been writing lots of songs, so he must be a pretty good songwriter. He's got a contract. What might happen to Frank Ocean? And you might even know and have heard of Frank Ocean before, especially if you listen to Triple J. You might know. So you've heard of Frank Ocean. So you might know what.
So what do you think?
You might already know what has happened to him. All right. What predictions? What do you think, Justin? What do you think is going to happen to Frank Ocean? So he's real. Let's look for some clues to help us predict. What are some clues in there that might help us predict what will happen?
He'll become
Dakota.
famous.
You think he might become famous? Why? What are some of the clues?
Well, he made lots of songs.
Yeah, he's made lots of songs for other people. So
Contracts for other
if other people want to buy his songs, it must mean that his songs are pretty good. So he might, so he might become famous. All right, let's have a look at the rest of it. Are we ready? So eventually he started releasing his own music and people were amazed. He signed a record deal. he recorded his first album. The night before it came out, Frank wrote a letter to his fans telling the story of a long summer night when he'd first fallen in love and how the person he'd fallen in love with had been a man. People asked if he was gay. He told them labels didn't matter to him. I feel like a free man, he said. If I listen closely, I can hear the sky falling too. Other musicians wrote messages of support, talking about how courageous he was. It was courageous because for a long time, it felt like the hip hop community wouldn't be tolerant of gay people. And if you listen to a lot of rap music, it can be quite anti-gay. So he wanted to stand up against that, and even though he is not gay, he has written some songs which show that he supports that it's okay to be gay. Frank doesn't like being famous, but he's grateful. He sometimes wishes he'd worn a mask so no one would know what he looks like. After his album did so well, he escaped his record label, because remember, he had a what?
Contract.
A contract. Yeah, a contract with them. He escaped his record label, disappeared, and didn't reappear for years. For Frank to release his new album because he wanted to be perfect. He wanted it to be perfect. He spent lots of years doing it. When it did finally come out, they loved him more than ever. He'd made something that was true to himself. So well done. And your prediction was right, Declan. So he's become quite famous and probably made a lot of money too doing it. All right, well done, everyone. Everyone has done an awesome job with that. Can I get you to, those people that have the summarizing, can I get you to put some of your main ideas on your post-it notes? Can I get the people that have the questions now to give me their questions? What question do you have? All right, Dakota, can you read it out? Why did he want to keep doing music? Why do you think he wanted to keep doing music? Can anyone answer that question?
Because he loved music and he wanted to keep doing it.
Yeah,
and get this sound beats right.
Yeah, well, he really loved music, and even though he didn't like being famous and went away for a while, he still really loved it, so he kept making it. That was a really good question. Jacob, what's your wondering question? Well, you'll need to come up with one, so I want you to think of one now that you've got about this, so something that you're wondering about. So this is your role, yeah? You can just tell me.
I wonder, Frank Ocean gonna be in a music video with
Someone else. You wonder if he was doing a collaboration.
Yeah,
Well,
like
we could
featuring.
find that out. Maybe put that down. I wonder if Frank Ocean is going to do a collaboration with another singer. Write that down, and that's something we could find out. Put that on your... Well, we might be able to play a song for him later on today. Can I get everyone... So Rex, make us start on yours. If you've done your question, there are some books along there. I want you to open up to your page and stick your post-it note in there and come and sit that down. Yep, it will be in there in your book along the thing. And then